Oh man, being consistent in the market. It's not easy, is it? But it's not hard to hit one good trade, right? But you hit one and then the rest of the time you're losing. And then you hang on to that one trade hoping that you could hit it again, like that sad guy that's holding on to his high school championship but never really did anything else in his life. It's very sad. It's very, very, very sad. But you're not alone. I mean, most traders deal with this, the inconsistency. And the worst part is that it messes with your head too, because the market just becomes like a tease. It'll give you a little bit, but like only once, and the rest of the time you gotta struggle, you gotta buy a presents, you gotta take it out, but you're still not getting any. And then the minute you turn your back, all of a sudden you see the market giving it to your friend. When I say giving it, I mean profits. At least that's what it feels like when you see other people winning and you're sitting there thinking like, what's wrong with my stuff? Tears you up inside. But again, don't worry, everybody feels like you do. This is why 99% of traders fail. So when you see someone else winning, that's kind of their one high school championship win that they're gonna hold on to while they're losing the rest of the time. It's a fun game. You wonder kind of why you do it, huh? Well, you do it because you love money. We all love money, right? Well, more than that, we have to. We don't have a choice. We're stuck in the stock market whether we like it or not, because that's where all our life savings are. And you also hang on to the hope that, hey, possibly one day I will get this right. And guess what? You're watching the right video. Because I'm not just going to tell you the 5 reasons why you can't be consistently profitable, because that would just be depressing. You're like, I already know I'm not. But we're going to go over those 5 reasons and actually fix them so you could be on your way to being consistently profitable, because that's the goal. So if you're feeling bad before, well, don't feel bad anymore, because AK is here to fix all your problems. Comment down below with how many problems you have. Now, reason number 1 why you aren't able to be consistently profitable in the stock market is because you don't have a solid routine and process in place. Now, this is a bad one, and this is the trap that most traders fall into, because a lot of the traders that I talk to, I ask them like, yo, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing each day to find these investments and manage them? And the answers are just stupid. It's like I scroll Twitter and then I jump in my Discord group, then I watch a bunch of random YouTubers like AK, and basically it's a bunch of people just jumping back and forth on the internet, and they call that a process. But like I said, it's stupid, and I'm not calling them stupid, I'm just calling their process stupid. Just like my mom used to say to me, I'm not calling you stupid, just what you're doing is stupid. But a lot of traders and investors are just like a cat chasing a laser pointer, just all over the place. Just no plan, no process. And how are you ever going to get consistent results when you don't even have a consistent process? It doesn't make sense. And that's why when you talk to professionals, they're not talking about, oh, what stock should I buy? Give me a tip. They're just talking about their process, because that's the thing that endures as every stock changes. Like today it's AMC, tomorrow it'll be something else. But the thing that stays the same, again, is that process, and professionals understand that. Consistent process leads to consistent results. You got to make trading like a job, but a really efficient job. For example, you could say, I'm only going to check these 2 things each day during this time and set my orders at this time, and then I'm going to leave it and go about my business. And it doesn't have to be some super complicated process or anything. You know, everyone's strategy is different. You just need to have something that's repeatable, and you stick to it and you don't break it. And this leads into reason 2 why a lot of investors aren't consistently profitable. It's because they can't fix what's not working. And guess what? If you don't have a process, then you're not even going to be able to look at what's not working. Because again, most traders that I talk to, they just bang their head against the wall over and over again, and then they're wondering, why isn't this working? Well, that's literally the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And again, these investors aren't stupid. Well, they're a little more stupid after banging their head against the wall. But apart from that, the reason they can't adjust what they're doing is because they never had that solidified process in the first place. If you have your process, you have it written down, you know what you're doing every day, then you can go back and analyze that process based off what results you're getting. So if you say, okay, I'm getting great profits with this process, great, keep it. But if you're not getting the profits that you want, then you could look back at it and change it. But if you never had anything to look at in the first place because you didn't have a process, how could you adjust? The whole idea, if you want to be good at anything, whether it's the market or something else, it's all about process, analyzing that process, tweaking it, and just going around and around in a circle. That's how you refine something. So if you're on a Discord channel 2 hours a day just responding to memes and you realize, hey, that's not making me any more money, you can say, hey, maybe I won't jump into that Discord anymore because it's not helping. Or every time you jump on a Reddit thread and take the advice there, you lose money, maybe you shouldn't do that anymore. Whatever your process is, you got to be able to analyze it and adjust. And eventually, even if you're really dumb, just really, really stupid, through the process of iterative adjustment, you will actually get to a point where you'll be profitable. It's beautiful how that works out. Like I myself, not that smart. I lean towards the stupid side, but even I was able to adjust until, look at me now. I'm sure I'm the pinnacle of what every investor wants to be. Well, at least I am from a process perspective. I literally spend less than 15 minutes a week on the market and I get great returns. And that's the power of getting your process in place and being able to adjust adjusted over time. I didn't start like that, but I'm there now. Now, the third reason you might not be consistently profitable is because of shiny object syndrome. Now, you got to watch out for this because most people fall for this, and it really derails everything we've been talking about with the process and the adjustment and everything. Because if you suck at markets, and we all suck at markets at one point, right? You are always looking for that quick escape. And that quick escape might come in the form of a new indicator or a new Telegram group or just something that you think you're going to jump onto and it's going to fix everything. Well, it doesn't, first of all, because there's no such thing as a holy grail in the market. If there was, we would have found it already. And the problem is every time you jump to a new thing, you're not spending enough time on what's actually important. Once again, your process. So when it comes to new stuff in the market, I'm talking about the shiny object stuff, like a new indicator, you basically got to treat it like an old person. When I say an old person, I mean a person who is so resistant to change, doesn't want to do anything new, just wants to stick with what they know. Like I got older Indian relatives that are always asking me like, AK, how do you send the picture? Looking at their phone and staring at me when I know that they work in companies in the IT department at a high level, making a bunch of money, and they're still looking at me like, how does this work? They are very resistant to new stuff, like all old people are. And I say old people, but I myself experience that more and more every year. Now I know they say it's bad to be so mentally rigid, but in this case, it actually works for you when it comes to the stock market. You're better off being real slow to adopt something versus being super fast at grabbing everything that doesn't work and just distracts you. And it's not just for your process or the tools that you're using, it's also for assets in general. We're in a time where there's new assets coming up every day. When I talk about assets, I mean like not only stocks, but crypto. One thing that came up recently was NFTs, right? And everyone started trading those. And an NFT could literally be an audio recording of a fart. Like, why do I care? But if everyone's saying, oh, this is the new thing, you're going to make a bunch of money, yeah, then you're going to abandon whatever you were working on and jump onto that. And you can keep doing that nowadays because there's so much stuff incoming that you can end up with nothing at the end of it. Now, if you do want to experiment with new things, which is absolutely fine, and I'm not talking about like drugs or something here, though you may want to see how that affects your trading performance if you see different things in the charts. Maybe it's worth testing. If you want to test it though, make sure you have your core process intact. And then you could try all these little peripheral things, but in an orderly manner. Have a process for trying new things to add to your process. That's very different from jumping from shiny object to shiny object. That's just stupid. You once again make yourself a cat with a laser pointer. Reason number 4 that you are not consistently profitable is because you're suffering from too much noise. And this really relates to every point that we just talked about. If you're focusing on your process, then you don't want noise distracting you. And what do we mean by noise? We're talking about news, social media, all these things coming down the line constantly. And social media especially, it seems like it has way more negative effects than it does positive. In particular when it comes to investing. And actually, as a millennial myself, I have finally found a benefit to the Gen Z crowd. Because I know older people, no one likes them, right? With their vibe checks or whatever they're doing. But these Gen Z people, they know how to deal with algorithms and social media. They were born into it and they just deal with it way better than we do. So when I'm looking for advice on how to manage some of this stuff, I actually go to them. And it's incredible the head that they have on their shoulders when it comes to this stuff. And it makes me hopeful that they are going to destroy everything that millennials built. And I would not mind that at all. Because what do we build? Like Twitter, Facebook? We just created this stupid internet that's all closed off now. Let's burn it all down. You know, I like that idea. But until Gen Z fixes that for us, we got to deal with the noise. And the noise is just like these little ants that just, bite and destroy your process. Just trying to ruin everything that you built. So you just can't let that noise in. It's just distracting. Jesse Livermore, the greatest trader who ever lived, from that book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. He always talked about idolizing this trader who just lived up in the mountains. And he didn't even have a phone or anything. All he had was a newspaper that got delivered once a month, I think. And this guy was an incredible investor, made so much money. And all he did was look at the paper, say, hey, do I need to make a decision? No? Great. I'm going to stay up here in the mountains with the deer and the goats. Point being that up on that mountain, the literal mountain, there's not much noise. Literal noise and figurative noise from all the Wall Street BS. And in our case, it's all the Twitter, Discord, Reddit, all that stuff. You got to look for that peace, because like good trading, you got to look for that peace, because good trading is like Zen. And when you're all Zen'd out, you don't really hear all the noise, right? And that's how you got to stay. That's how you got to remain to be successful. If you get sucked into all that noise, you're not going to make money. Now, reason number 5 why you're not consistently profitable is because you're just making it too hard on yourself. And let me explain what that means. See, it took me a long time to understand what working hard is versus working smart. I thought when people said they're working smart, they're just trying to put down the people that are working hard. But really what it means to work smart is to do everything you can to make sure that you can be lazy. Because laziness is actually a good thing. It's one of my strengths. Because in reality, you don't want to work hard in markets or in anything in life. If you're truly honest with yourself, you want it to come easy. So the way to do that is to actually put the hard work into the process so that the execution is easy. So hard work up front, so the rest of the time is easy. That's how you do everything. So when you're looking at your investing process, you got to make sure that it is efficient. Because if your process is that you come home from work and you spend 3 hours every night going into these charts and looking at these forums and doing all this research, how are you going to keep up with it? How are you going to do that every single day? You're not going to be consistent. And again, if you're not consistent with the process, you're not going to get consistent results. So one solution is just make the process much easier. You know, I fell into that same trap when I got into morning routines, and this was years ago. This was when I was on my Tim Ferriss binge. So I literally took every step of everyone's morning routine and combined it together. I would wake up, make my bed, take a cold shower, go run, then meditate, then write in a journal, then talk about how grateful I am for being alive, and then this, and then that, and then some breathing exercises. And before I knew it, my morning routine was like 2 to 3 hours long, and I was tired before I even started my day. And eventually I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? It was a chore to do it each day. I had to get myself pumped up just for my morning routine, which is so stupid. There should be no process like that, which is the same thing for trading and investing. You got to make it easy on yourself, which is why I was just telling you with the Fallible system, my process takes less than 15 minutes a week. And I say 15 minutes a week so that people at least believe me somewhat, because realistically it takes me less than 15 minutes a month. But people are going to say no way to that, but yes way. Yes, all the way. And the reason why is because if you have a system, you truly are as efficient as you can possibly be. And if you got all your alerts set up, you got your automatic orders, you don't really do anything. Once the system is built, and you know that was the hard work, rest of the time is pretty easy. That's why I always talk about our Fallible system, because it can be that easy. Wasn't easy to build, but it's easy to use. Now there is a reason number 6 why you are not consistently profitable, and it actually is probably the most important reason. So important that I made a whole video about it right here. You couldn't fit in this video, it was too long. My throat is sore. I need to go learn about family from Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious. I got things to do, but fortunately I have this video right here. So make sure you click right here and go watch that video because it is important, the most important video. So click this link and I will see you there.